and welcome. Tonight, former governor of Jigawa State gets bail on self-recognition. His two sons to provide sureties each in the sum of 25 million naira. Yobe State Governorship Election Tribunal begins sitting in Abuja. PDP to prove allegations of bribery in polls. As the world marks Population Day, attention turns to the plight of vulnerable people in Nigeria. And deal at last, as world powers resolve disagreement with Iran over its nuclear program.
Business news tonight. Nigeria's consumer price index rises to 9.2% in the month on the review owing to inflation.
And on sports news, Nigeria's junior D Tigers are through to the quarterfinals of the FIBA Africa Under-16 Championships.
We begin in the Federal Capital Territory, where a federal high court has granted bail to the immediate past governor of Jigawa State, Mr. Sule Lamido, and his two sons. They've been in prison custody for the past 5 days over alleged money laundering offences amounting to over 1.3 billion naira. Ruling on the bail application filed by the accused persons, Justice Gabriel Kolawale granted Mr. Lamido bail in self-recognition as a former governor. Messrs. Aminu and Mustafa Lamido, who are standing trial along with their father and one Abubakar Wada, were however granted bail in the sum of 25 million naira with two sureties each.
Temporary relief has come the way of Mr. Sule Lamido and his two sons as a federal high court sitting in Abuja granted the request of their counsel to admit the accused persons to bail. Lawyer to the accused persons, Joe Age, in his application for bail, told the court that the accused persons will not jump bail if released. The prosecutor, Mr. Chile Okoroma, however, opposed the application, alleging that Lamido and his sons had earlier threatened one of his lead witnesses, one Mr. Bartholomew Darlington, a manager in one of the companies owned by the former governor. Having listened to the arguments for and against the bail application, Justice Gabriel Kolawale granted all the accused persons bail. He ordered the accused persons to deposit their travel documents with the Deputy Registrar of the court for onward transfer to Federal High Court, Kano, where the trial is expected to take place on the 28th of September. Shortly after the ruling, the prosecutor left the court, but the defense counsel vowed to meet the bail conditions.
When we wait for the trial in Kano, we are prepared to face the prosecution whenever they are ready. They are stringent, but we are going to meet them because we have a civil servant here, we have people with properties here, ready and willing to take them on bail.
The former governor, who declined an interview, however promised to entertain questions after perfecting the bail conditions.
We are trying to perfect the bail condition. After perfecting the condition, I'll come back.
Justice Evelyn Anyadike of the Kano Division of the Federal High Court had on July 9 remanded the ex-governor and his sons in prison after they were arraigned over a 28-count criminal charge preferred against them by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Mr. Lamido was equally alleged to have collected kickbacks from contractors in the state, with the funds allegedly paid into accounts that were managed by his sons.
The Yobe State Governorship Election Tribunal has begun its sitting to hear the petition filed by the People's Democratic Party governorship candidate Alhaji Adamu Waziri. The tribunal, headed by Justice Mojisola Dada, is sitting in Abuja due to the insurgency in the northeast. The tribunal had earlier given the PDP permission to inspect the materials used for the April 11, 2015 governorship election, and the petitioner is expected to present its observations to the tribunal. The Independent National Election Commission had declared Governor Ibrahim Gaidam of the All Progressive Congress as winner of the election with 334,847 votes, defeating Alhaji Waziri, who polled 179,700 votes. Meanwhile, attempts by Governor Emmanuel Udo and the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to stop the witnesses of the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate from giving testimonies in the last governorship election has failed. At its sitting in Abuja today, the Akwa Ibom State Election Tribunal dismissed the request by the governor and his party, asking that the APC witnesses be disqualified from testifying against him on the ground that they used initials in place of their names in their statement on oath. While giving the ruling, Justice Sadiq Umar agreed with the submission of Chief Wale Olanipekun, SAN, counsel to the APC, that the witnesses have the right under the law to use their initials on their statements on oath. Our correspondent, Amaka Okafor, has the report.
2 weeks after pre-trial, hearing has commenced in the election petition filed by the candidate of the All Progressive Congress in the April 11, 2015 Akwa Ibom State governorship elections. No sooner had the All Progressive Congress called its first witness, counsel to Governor Emmanuel Udo and the People's Democratic Party raised objection to an attempt by the witness to adopt his statement on oath as his testimony. Counsel to the governor, Mr. Paul Usoro, and Mr. Tayo Oyetibo for the People's Democratic Party separately opposed the statement made by the All Progressive Congress witness on the ground that his real name was not on the statement but initials. However, the chairman of the tribunal, Justice Sadiq Umar, overruled the objection for being misplaced, saying that the law and the practice direction are so clear and not ambiguous that witnesses in an election petition can use initials or acronyms for security reasons.
The first witness for the petitioners has been called. He's been cross-examined, and coincidentally, he was a candidate in the election, the candidate in the platform of Accord, and is giving his evidence.
Well, that is the ruling of the court. As a lawyer, we are always bound by the decision of the court, but we take decisions after consultation with the client as to what next to do with respect to the decision.
Meanwhile, the All Progressive Congress also complained that it had not been allowed access to inspect the election materials as ordered by the court. However, counsel to Governor Emmanuel Udo, the People's Democratic Party and the Independent National Electoral Commission says the APC is crying wolf because their own report indicates that the process has been seamless.
The tribunal has given direction, and we are very happy. We are satisfied with the way and manner the tribunal is handling the situation. So I don't want to escalate it.
You heard INEC, who said that the documents were made available, that the documents were being certified. That was the response of INEC, and I believe him.
I mean, we are lawyers. If you're going to get to the bottom of it, then you need primary evidence. You need to hear directly from the people who were there. My own people who were there, their evidence is that INEC has been providing this document.
The tribunal, however, urged the lawyer to the Independent National Electoral Commission to verify the claims and report to the tribunal at the next adjourned date. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has appealed to members of the All Progressive Congress, APC, to drop their differences and their influences both in the party and the country in order to achieve its campaign manifestos. President Buhari, who hosted the party leadership to break the Ramadan fast at the new banquet hall at the presidential villa, recalls how the party surmounted many obstacles to emerge strong enough to dislodge the PDP. In the same vein, the leader of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has refuted the remarks from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, that the Buhari administration is too slow, saying the government cannot clean the 16-year mess of the PDP in 30 days. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has asked the Spanish government for more support towards tackling insurgency in the country. The Speaker made this plea while receiving the Spanish ambassador to Nigeria, Alfonso Sebastian, in his office in Abuja. He urged the Spanish business community to start looking to invest in Nigeria's agricultural and power sectors to help diversify the country's economy.
And we know that in the absence of peace, there can't be development. And so for our partners who have come calling on us, we have always pleaded for assistance so that we can rout these terrorists from our country and that will enable us to set in motion the platform for redevelopment and reconstruction of the entire Northeast. And we want to thank you for the offer to fight terrorism. It's something that we will embrace. It's something that we're looking up to you to provide, whether it is intelligence in terms of capacity for the armed forces, intelligence sharing on terrorism, human trafficking, and all those things that constitute social problems. These are areas that we are looking up to your government for.
In part two, after the break, former lawmaker says the 7th Assembly never amended the Senate standing rules as being alleged by some lawmakers in the 8th Assembly. Do stay with us.